me? Can you hit it for me?
What is up, everyone? Oh, I came on a little louder. I guess Gigi, is yesterday's party spilling over into today? Is that what's happening for you over there? I know you're in Vegas, right?
Yes. You see no makeup basically, or still tired from dancing, but it's good.
Yeah.
So live
really
from
good.
Vegas, from my hotel room.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I hope
doing
you guys
good,
are
too.
doing well. But folks, if you don't know, Gigi's actually in Vegas right now, and it's technically what time, Gigi? 7 o'clock out there?
It's 8 o'clock right now. 8 a.m.
8 o'clock.
Yes.
All right,
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
So it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
We are I'm staying actually next to the Mirage at the Treasure Island, where they have Le Cirque.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. It's Vegas' hotel. It's all right.
I mean, don't tell us too much about Vegas because anything that happens in
No,
Vegas.
I mean, what's very important.
Let us know how that training was. How was it being out there for the last 4 days?
We had, oh my God, there's so many choices. When we had some X-Camp sessions on Tuesdays that were pretty amazing, where you could choose different topics that would anywhere from team building to cryptocurrency in real estate to I know, like really interesting stuff. Of course, developing your business overseas and So it was a lot. Great keynote speaker. Serena Williams was there. We didn't go to the gala, but I know what's the name of that? It's Friday morning. English hasn't kicked in yet, and I forgot the name of the guest speaker we had. Remember that actor from Save the Bell?
Yes, Mario Lopez.
Yes, AC Slater.
What's his name? Not Speech, the other guy, not the blonde guy, the Spanish
AC
guy.
Slater. Mario Lopez. Yes.
This guy.
The man never ages. Let's just say that he never ages.
Hey, he's Spanish. Let's go.
I'm just trying to put him in a situation. There was Screech, there was the other white guy, I don't even remember his name, and Mario Lopez and some girls.
There you go.
Time to go, guys. But no, it was fantastic. Yesterday was good too.
Nice.
Grant Cardone was there being interviewed by Glenn Sanford. Grant is pretty raw, let's say it.
Good information on his end. That's really good.
Made Glenn a little bit uncomfortable in a funny way, because Glenn is pretty much of an introvert, and this tall guy, and Glenn just would say, I have things. He started saying, I have something in my pants you don't have, and he just goes digging in there, and he just takes out a casino chip, and Glenn is like not knowing what to do with himself, whether he should be laughing or not. He's like, and stuff like that. Whatever.
Well, that's interesting.
That's interesting. We were all adults in there, which is fine.
Right.
I think we were about over 5,000 of us. It seemed like a lot of people. A lot of people.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's
amazing. Well, the good thing about it is that you actually, it helped you and the 5,000 over there to actually continue the business during these holidays, during these next 3 months, which most people do what? We all tend to be complacent. We all tend to be relaxed. We all tend to be like, I need to get ready for Thanksgiving. There's so many recipes I need to try out. Christmas is coming up. There's so many gifts I need to buy.
Yeah. But it's there. You have to do it. You still have to do it. You still have to go through the motion of the holidays. That's for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. But your business never ends. That's the funny part about it, right? So you certainly need to make sure that your business continues. And this is a great discussion we're going to have today based on that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to helping everyone out.
I think you will be the one head spearing that training, Israel, because you brought in a lot of good nuggets, I shall say, right?
Oh, we all did. No, we all did.
Yeah.
It's always that one moment in our career where, again, like I said, when we get to that point, once November starts, I've actually started incorporating now that November for me is my new year, right? It's career's new year. It's not the calendar new year; it's a career new year. Why? Because anything we do, any contracts we put in this month today, is going to reflect in January, anyways, right? So anything we do today is always 90 days away. So with that being said, I mean, depending on all situations, some contracts are shorter than others, but in all retrospect, when you look at it, it's always 90 days away. So what do we do to actually continue to make sure that our business continues to strive? What do we do to make sure that our business strives? And one of the other things that I also do, part of November, and what is November known for? Thanksgiving. And what do we have to be thankful for? Is our clients, our social, our sphere of influence, our center of influence, the vendors that we work with. We have to make sure that we actually thank them for the business that they've actually given us, and also thank them for being part of our business. So it's very important to actually go out there, not only say that to your friends, your family members, and the vendors that you work with, but to let them know that you're here for them and that they're always going to be here for you in every single moment of your business. So what do you guys do for November?
What do we guys do for November? So I actually not necessarily. Maybe I should go and thank people more. But I definitely start doing. I start preparing my my greeting cards, because it takes a while. They have to be handwritten. It's several hundreds of them, and I want to make sure that somewhat. I don't want to send a same generic message to everybody. So it takes a little bit of time. So I have 1 month to put that out, like all those, 3 or 400 cards that I send. But it's always something that people, like the past clients, to the vendors that I worked with as well, send them that. I think they do appreciate it. I get a little phone call, we get a little conversation. It sparks a little renewed bond there. It's always good, always good. What do you do, Ed?
I mean, you guys are mentioning a lot of the stuff that we should be doing. All right. What I will say, what happens around this time is a lot of people fall back. And that's the main reason why we wanted to talk about this today.
Yeah.
Because the holiday season is upon us. And what does that mean? Vacation is right around the corner. I got that last commission check. It cashed out. It was pretty good. So now I want to go on vacation, enjoy, and splurge. Now, the kicker is this. A lot of people feel that right now is kind of like where the season slows down. And in my honest opinion, I don't think that is the case. I firmly believe that the reason why people think it's slowing down is because they're slowing down. That's it. Plain and simple. There's a lot of holidays that are coming up. Like Israel said, you got Thanksgiving, right? You also got Hanukkah, you got Rosh Hashanah, you got all these other holidays.
Rosh Hashanah was before. You got what before Hanukkah? Yes.
My bad.
You have a lot of
a lot of holidays though. There's a lot of holidays.
Right.
So a lot of people take off and they say, you know what, I'm just going to take a break. But this is where it's key for you to come into play. And honestly, I think it's good that you try to stay in the game. Why? There's a lot of investors, right, that are looking to close out the year and they need to cash out. They need to buy something so that they don't have to pay all the taxes on that money. So a lot of these investors are now coming in right now before the year is over to now purchase these properties that might have been sitting on the market for some time, or they're trying to get a good deal. So in my opinion, this is now who the next wave of buyers that are coming in.
Right. And then you have the buyers that are still very serious and still need to buy, for personal reason. And those are still going to be out there. And I also wanted to say that when you have a family and there is the holidays, and yes, you have your obligations, and you should engage in those obligations, but you need to really we brushed on it a couple of minutes, schedule your time. Say here, those days is going to be the day before Thanksgiving for that whole few days, even the Black Friday, whatever we're doing shopping, is out of the question. That same weekend, we'll still be able to do open house and take clients out. Same thing with Christmas and so on and so forth. So block that time, make sure like it's all blocked. Your family knows you're going to be there for them. I think it's important. But then again, get back to work. Just like not just sit down and just wait for the holidays. Oh, like automatically thinking that the market is going to slow down. You slow down. The market doesn't slow down. I haven't really seen it slowing down in years, right? What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Right? Every winter has been busy. Yeah.
It just keeps picking up.
Yeah.
It just keeps picking up. So like Gigi mentioned, I mean, look, time management is key on that point, right? It's okay to take the time off. It's okay. You're not going to, no one's going to frown upon you for taking off a day of the holidays with your family to spend time with them.
Even if it's a week, even if you're going skiing or something like that, it's okay. It's absolutely.
And if you're going skiing or snowboarding, definitely reach out to me because I love snowboarding and I can't wait. I can't wait. That's really the only reason why I love the winter time. You know what I mean? Because of snowboarding. But anywho, that's a different topic. So like you said, Gigi, right? Time management. I think that's key. The other thing that I would also do as far as reaching out, you mentioned some letters, but you can also promote maybe a place that you want to donate to, right? Maybe put together something that looks like, hey, you know what? I'm doing something for the community. This is a way for you to now put yourself out there. You can advertise it through social media because it's free. I have a good friend of mine that's doing that, right? He's hooking up with a couple of companies to now send goods over to third world countries. I think that's awesome, right? You start to establish that type of community. Guess what? People want to work with people who are doing good things. You know what I mean? If you're actually going out there and pouring your heart out, people are going to want to connect and contact with you, especially when you're putting that information on social media. And you know what else happens? If you have your past clients that are following you on any of these sites, they're going to reach out. And I'll give you a perfect example. Last week, right? This is awesome because last week, the first client I ever helped when I started real estate had reached out to me. And we've been in communication since. I've seen his apartment after he purchased it. He did a full-blown renovation. Nice place, nice guy. In the process of when I started till now, he actually is now engaged, right? Oh. Guess what clicked into my head? That event that we went to last week where Glenn was talking about it, right? Oh, you're engaged? You're probably looking to grow. Maybe you're looking to upsize, right? Maybe you're looking to sell and purchase another property. So he actually reached out to me. He's like, oh, it's good to see that you're still out there. I passed by the office, though. It was closed. He said, and I said, don't worry. The office is actually by appointment only. We're going to be opening up the location pretty soon to everyone, but we can schedule a time. So what does that mean? Now I'm out there. We're engaging again. The holidays are coming up, right? Guess what happens? We now send the holiday card the way Gigi and Israel was stating, right? We now send that holiday card. Guess what? We're top of mind again. They get the holiday card. Yeah. It's like, oh snap! I remember I spoke to that a few days ago. And you know what's cool? He said he said, listen, I might be changing areas. I might be going to a new location. I don't know. And I said, yeah, man, I'm sure you know, if there's any questions that you and your fiance have, and I remembered her name and everything. So I, to keep it kind of private, I'm not going to say their names, but I went ahead and I said, yeah, if there's any questions you guys have, definitely feel free to reach out. He said, yeah, I'll reach out to you after January 1st. I jokingly said, I look forward to your phone call on January 2nd. And he started laughing and whatever. But long story short, that's what's happening over the course of the holidays. This is where we need to take advantage because naturally we're coming together to spend time with family. So we should be involved in these events any which way we can.
Right. So that's one way. I think it's like you definitely need to nurture your SOI, your center of influence.
Absolutely.
Definitely that. But there are other things you can do as far as gears to direct production, right?
So before we do that, I think Faith actually has a question on our thing, which we should answer real quick. Which is, what's the best way to keep time management? So, I mean, to answer that question is honestly what I do is normally it's a day before or a week before, right? And try to figure out exactly what are your priorities and try to manage it that way. And then once you fill in your calendar, whether you use a color coding system or you use pretty much a priority system, either way, you want to make sure that you plug into the calendar right away. And then anything else that fills in after that are things that are either just like a nice quick meeting with someone or coffee with someone, but things that are really important to you. In other words, like if you want to just prospect for 2-3 hours, you plug that in. All right.
And you should have, I mean, we had business planning session. This should be like done pretty much. Your end of day is different from theirs. You should have some of your schedule that are like things that are barely movable. Like if you're gonna have like a prospecting session, that should be in. Like this is something you should abide by. Like every morning I'm going to be prospecting. Yes, when you're going to time block for your holidays, like right now, it's a good time to do it. Say here, I'm not going to be able to work that day. And then all around, let's move things around and see what I can really do productively. We can let's set up some time where I can call all my past clients. And if I don't have any past clients, just call all the people in my phone that know me by my first name and just tell them this is what I'm doing, real estate. This is what I'm doing right now, and just ask about them, see how their life is, ask questions.
So what I would probably add to that is because look, a lot of new agents would come off of a job and they're expecting a set schedule. And then next thing you know, you're in real estate and nobody's calling you to wake you up. And you're just sitting there like, wow, this is pretty good. I like real estate. I'm my own boss, But what you should do is you should kind of take it back to the basics at that point. What do you need to do? Calibrate, right? How do you calibrate? You figure out, and I remember learning this when we did the end of the year. We put our goals together. We did it a few times, right? And I'm calling it calibrators because now you have the opportunity to get a calendar of the entire year of next year.
Yeah, you get the big picture.
You start blocking off these times, right? Hey, you know what? My birthday, August 14, I'm a Leo baby. I can't wait. Yeah. Guess what? I'm not working that day.
Yes.
Yeah, right? I'm not working that day and I'm Xing off these days. Hey, if it's on a Friday, I'm not working that whole weekend. You know what I mean? But I'm Xing everything off from a bigger scale. And Christmas comes around the corner. Boom. Hey, I want to take a snow trip one of these weekends. Boom. I write it in there. Right. And then what are we doing it? We're now going on a smaller scale after that. Okay. So I blocked out the holidays and my vacations, but what other days can I block out? Right. If you have kids, they go to school. Hey, they go to school from this time to this time. And if you have to pick them up or drop them off, you already know I need to block out that time schedule. Right. The other thing I would add to that is I know we don't do it. I know a lot of us don't do it. Some of us do, right? Is just wake up early. If you try to hold on to that same schedule that you had, if you worked from a 9 to 5, or if you got up at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., believe it or not, if you get up at that time, you can do a lot of the back end stuff before the day even starts. You can get ahead in your day before it even starts. I know we have to make calls and prospect, but think about it. If I know I have to do a social media post and I know it takes forever to do it, I'm going to try to do it at the times where I know I can't call. I'm not going to call somebody at 6 a.m. I mean, you could, but I'm not going to call somebody at 6 a.m. to prospect if I had something for them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. Some people would wait till a little bit later. Gigi mentioned prospect time. Put that in a time slot. I love a question that always pops up, and I'm going to ask you guys. And I really don't think there's a solid answer. There's not a right or wrong, but
it's what works. It's what works for you. I mean, you have to make it work for you, but you have to stick to your schedule. You got to start early too. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to start my day at 11." It's already middle of the day, and yes, you're not going to accomplish much.
The thing to understand about time management is that everybody asks how to do it, right? And it's always the same answer. What's priority? Do it as a big block. Then work on smaller, so on and so forth. Color block it, prioritize it, so on and so forth. One thing I always hear once we're saying what is the best way to do it is consistency.
Yeah, you have to.
One thing's for sure, you can do all that.
Yeah,
you can time block your entire week to month to year, but if you're not consistent towards a daily goal, then you're always trying to rework your magic. You're trying to rework your management. So we'll actually have to get into that. We'll do a quick session on that.
So I was trained by Mike Ferry. So were you, Israel? I don't know if you remember. I remember my coach always telling me, if you stick to your schedule, 70% of the time you're a superstar, because we all know things happen in life. It's really difficult, or I know you can find yourself excuses, but sometimes you have emergencies, these things happening, you cannot really do what you had on your schedule. If you can do it at 70% of the time, you're really doing good, right?
I agree, 1,000%.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next topic of our segment.
Of course, is building our business.
Yes.
So one of the things that I consistently hear, right, whether we're on topic or not, but one thing that I consistently hear is this: when you speak with a seller, why should I sell now? Can I wait till spring? What's the one of the things that I keep hearing is, why should I sell now? Right? It's wintertime. I don't think nobody's out there. I don't think there's enough buyers out there. Those are the things I keep hearing. And I keep wondering what's really going on. So is it true? What do you think, Ed?
To wait till the spring?
Yeah. I think Gigi's frozen.
Probably. She looks like she's looking in a file cabinet right now.
Right?
She's looking very hard for that file, but that's fine.
It's okay. It's
so
in there.
In the meantime, look, to wait till the spring, all right, in my opinion, I don't think you should. I think, as we mentioned before, right now there's a lot of people that are going on the market. There's buyers that were experiencing the sellers. Wow, we lost Gigi. We'll get her back on soon. So there was a lot of buyers that experienced the seller's market, right? And they were outbidded. They were going through it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God knows how many houses they might have lost bids on. We don't know that, right?
Right.
But I'm going to give you something else that we have to look at. And I saw it on The Real Deal, and it was posted on Instagram. There's a lot of, now that they opened up the borders and now that they lifted the travel ban into international countries, guess what? Now we got international investors that are coming from out of state, that are coming from out of country, to come here and purchase. So now you have those individuals that are coming in from out of the country. You have the investors that are here, like I mentioned before. In my opinion, they're trying to cash out. They're trying to buy whatever it is before the year's up so that they don't have to report or pay taxes on that money. So why not buy more properties, right? So these are the people that are going back on the market. Why not put your house out there? While every other seller thinks that next season or spring is the best time to list, why don't we get you on the market right now where there's less inventory? And because they're waiting till spring, there's going to be even less inventory. So what does that mean for you? More top dollar. My question at the end of the day is, what's holding you to wait till spring if you can get there now? Right? Like if you're moving to Florida, why do you want to wait till spring to move to Florida? Wouldn't you want to move to Florida before the winter hits? Like,
and she's back.
I know, on my phone.
Yeah, we lost you, Gigi.
I know. I'm so sorry. I was like looking at some wheels spinning, and the internet in the hotel went down a little bit. I'm like, let me just use my phone. So here I am, all from my phone.
Welcome back. Well, Ed, you're absolutely right. As far as the inventories are usually the competition between sellers during this season, during this these 3 months or 4 months is really the same, right? It's always very low because nobody wants to do it this time. They always want to wait till springtime, so that competition at that time for a seller is actually much higher, right? But then the other thing is too, you have different of buyers who are actually more serious. The buyers who are just lookers or just out there doing other things that are not buying a home. So those serious buyers are the ones that actually have the pre-approvals ready to move forward and actually are serious about buying something. And now their competition is even lower, and they're actually going to be able to put in the numbers that you're looking for as a seller. So yeah, honestly, I think it's best to to sell now versus having to sell in the spring, because the prices of what you're going to get for top dollars is now compared to springtime.
Yeah.
Did we lose her again?
They even said, we lost her again. They even said that I think it was like one of those on Keeping Current Matters, they had a slide or whatnot. But if Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if a lot of these companies are now predicting that the market's going to soften up or prices are going to adjust or they're not going to go up as much as they were in like last year, at the end of the day, It's like, yeah, it can go up a little bit, but right now, if there's less competition on the market, we could potentially get you more than what you might be able to get in the springtime, because there might be more people out there. There might be more sellers that are going to wait till then, you know? So I wouldn't wait.
Have you seen the market slowing down at all in our market, in our immediate market? For residential?
No. For residential, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like when you say our market, even though we're trying to be very specific, even our market is still like general. You know what I mean? Like, right. So it's pockets. There's pockets of it, you know. And before we skip this real quick, because Faith had another question, and Faith, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Do you practice searching?
Do you practice searching for inventory? Now, I don't know what you mean exactly as far as searching for inventory. Do you mean as far as searching it to list it as one of your listings, or do you mean in general, like if I'm on, you know, the MLS looking at properties in Forest Hills, for example, or Long Island or Nassau County or whatever the case is? So I don't know which one you mean, but I would say in the beginning, if you are a brand new, she says in general. So yeah. I would, if I were, I don't know how much experience you have, but if you're new to an area, why not? Also, this helps you sharpen your skills. You'll be more aware as to what's going on in the neighborhood.
Nope.
Gigi, you're in and out, and it looks like you froze.
Not sure what she wants to say.
Hello, can you guys
hear me? I feel like she said hello.
I heard hello now.
Sounds like the
Lionel Richie song.
It's okay, Gigi.
It's all right. So to piggyback on what Edward is saying as well, in the sense of inventory, yes, you do. You should search your own inventory for your area, usually on a consistent basis. Therefore, because you're going to find out that the more people know that you're a real estate agent, the more they want a resource out of you. They want to find out how the market is doing, so on and so forth. You know, what's the level look like as far as the inventory that they're in. So you're always going to have that. You're always going to have somebody who's going to ask you, how's the market? And I don't know if you answer this way. I usually answer this way, and I got this a while ago, which is depends on what you're going to do, whether you're going to sell, buy, or invest, right? Yeah. And if they come out with the answer of either or, then I'll just say, let's just sit down and talk about it, and I'll let you know. But, you know, if it only takes literally whatever market that you're in, whether you're in Long Island, in our area, or New York City, you know, it only takes a few minutes of your time just to actually look over the numbers, look over how it is, and you know, go from there and tell that person whether it's a great market or a decent market.
Here's another thing that I think would benefit you in that position. And I actually I approach it the same exact way, right? I might be a little more expressive when I do things, right? So it all depends on you as the individual, but I think that's a phenomenal response, right? If someone comes up to you and say, hey, I heard you were in real estate. How's the market? Absolutely. I would say the same exact thing. Hey, you're curious about the market? Yeah, well, it all depends. I mean, what are you trying? And I would say like that. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to buy? Are you trying to sell? Are you trying to invest? What exactly are you trying to do? Because now I put it back. Like, I know you're asking, but now I want to know if you're asking for yourself or if you're asking for a friend. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, no, I know somebody. Oh, okay, cool. And then you can have that conversation, you know, but if it's done directly, the other thing I would probably do is I wouldn't just try to like vomit everything I could possibly do for them right there and then, because you never know, right? You might be at a bar, right? You might be at a restaurant. You might be walking down the street. So the best thing to do is to push it off to another appointment. And I like that, Israel, right? Push it off to a time where, hey, look, we can sit down, find some time to grab a cup of coffee, and I'll go over that with you.
Absolutely.
You know, right now is not the time. You know, you caught me off guard or I caught you off guard. I'm actually in between appointments. And that right there, in my opinion, makes you look a little more busier, makes you look more professional, because you're not just trying to just jump on it at the first sight. You're like, hey, look, that's great. I'm glad you're interested. Take down my information. Let's exchange contacts and let's catch a time so we can discuss it further, because right now is not the time.
And two things to piggyback on that: the fact that if they say they're selling, you at least know how to gear your conversation. You at least know how to, figure out whether or not how serious or how motivated they are as far as being a seller. Or if it's a buyer, again, you get to know exactly what kind of conversation you're going to have with that person. Whether it's, the kind of market it is, how long it's going to take to buy one, how serious are they? Are they ready to move? So it becomes to that point where you can start asking an extra question or two, right? In that sense of saying to them, oh, you're looking to buy, sell, or invest. Oh, you're looking to sell? Great. Let me know a little bit more about what you're thinking about selling, and then go from there. Let's sit down for 15, 20 minutes and talk about it, as fast as we can with coffee. So, and the greatest way to know how motivated a person is they're able to exchange contacts with you. If they're not willing to exchange contacts with you, then, I don't know. To my opinion, they're not as motivated as they claim to be. Whether you give them their contact number, they'll call you in a few months or so when they see you, obviously, somewhere else. But if they're willing to give it to you right away, they're motivated. They're motivated to know what's going on with the real estate world. They're motivated to know that they have to actually move forward. They're motivated to know that they actually need your help and resource to get them to that next level. So that's really a great way of doing it. I've actually known agents where they always say, I need my business card, I need my business card, I need my business cards. Yes, you do, but listen, your cell phone is your business card anyways. Grab that name and number, send them a text, and then there you go.
And now it's social media.
If I can also add, you're able to get like a digital business card, which you can text to people.
Which I was going to say that too.
Yeah, you need a physical business card, because people might lose it. So you just send them your business card and tell them to save it on their main screen, and you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, as far as Gigi, welcome back.
Thank you. Very volatile internet. I apologize.
Hey, whatever happens in Los Angeles stays in Los Angeles.
It's Vegas.
Las Vegas. Sorry, Las Vegas.
Yeah. So I missed a few things. I was trying to watch you guys on Facebook. I don't know. Did we discuss the reasons why we started talking about the reason why people don't want to do anything?
We touched base on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was Israel, which great question, by the way, is whenever you get sellers that say, oh, why don't I just wait till the spring season? So we were giving our ins and outs, but we know you're like a listing god when it comes to this. So in your opinion, Gigi, what do you think is a good rebuttal when it comes to a seller that decides to meet with you? They want to go ahead and say, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house, but maybe I should wait till the spring.
I think, first of all, it's very rare that, unless they...
Oh, we lost communication.
Unless they have some legitimate reason to list after the holidays, meaning they're having a renovation project or they're not going to be around, usually it's not much of a hurdle. Because once they really call you because they want to sell their house, they're pretty much ready. Very rarely, again, it's part of the pre-qualifier. Like very rarely you're going to get somebody who say, oh yeah, I'm considering selling my house. Just come over because I want a valuation. I want to dig a little bit further than that before I even go over there, And if you're just looking for a number, I can email you, I don't have to go meet you. So, sometimes they come across and say, yes, oh, don't you have more buyers in the spring? Maybe we should wait. But it's not a big hurdle. Once you tell them, you're dealing with extremely serious buyers in the winter time, they're just okay with it, They're just okay with it.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Yeah. So again, it's the same thing always in the pre-qualifying. You're not just going to run to someone because they say, oh, I want to see the value of my house. Let's know why. Why you want to get the value of your house? Do you really want to sell? When you want to sell? What's the deal? Why you want to,
So what I want to do is, and kind of to spin it all together and bring it back. So the idea really is for us to kind of stay busy during the season and the holiday, right?
Right.
And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I like to compare like a brand new agent to an agent that's been on the grind for some time, or maybe a seasoned agent that is kind of set in their ways, right? And in my opinion, it's like the story of the hare and the tortoise, right? So maybe some of these agents might take that break, right? And you'll hear it across the board. Hey, I'm going this, and oh no, and it's, you know, it's hard, and it's getting, you know, whatever. You know, people are saying that it's not as busy anymore. But as a new agent, and we always say get back to the basics and things like that. But how can we stay in the grind? How can, as a new person coming on, or just an agent that says, you know what, I know everybody's taking off. In my opinion, this is the best time for an agent to excel. Why? Everybody else is taking a vacation. If you're on the grind right now, like Israel said, you're literally setting up your business so that you're on the ground running January 1st, January 2nd. You got things already in the pipeline. You know what I mean? How do you get that in the pipeline? It all starts with what you do right now. It all starts with what you're doing today. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with that being said, aside from the time management, aside from reaching out to past clients, aside from connecting with them and sending the holiday letters, how else can we stay in the grind and in the hunt during the holiday season?
I mean, I think you still have the opportunity to check what kind of buyers you have, and I know we have a restriction on calling people, but I mean, I would go back to
the state of emergency.
A state of emergency. But guys, I don't know if any of you guys have a CRM, but I have a CRM with a lot of contacts. Those are not even past clients. The contacts that came into my CRM through, you know, like through Zillow, through whatever inquiry, I put them in. I think right now would be also a great time to clean that up, you know, so you're ready to start the year fresh. You know, you can go back to old file, like even people, let's try to even figure this whole, you know, state of emergency with a lot of the restrictions we have. You know, like once you already spoke to somebody at some point, you know, within your real estate career last year and so on and so forth, and you've had conversations back and forth, those people are no longer basically strangers. When you call them, it's no longer a cold call, correct?
It's a cooler call.
Right. It's warming up now. It's warming up.
No, it is. It is. You know, like, I mean,
so
very carefully I would go like on I've spoken to some expired probably prior to lockdown, and you have them in your phone, and you've had like conversation where you were texting. Why not?
Oh, that's where we lost the nugget, Gigi. We just lost that nugget.
How they're going, you know, saying here, you know what? Basically, what is it, in 6 weeks? It's gonna be the new year.
Oh my gosh.
What's in store for you guys, you know?
Yeah.
You still have the house, what you're planning on doing. That's it. Just ask questions.
I think so. I mean, honestly, there's engagements that you can do. There's engagements that you can start with. You know, what are your plans for next year? What are your hopes for next year? If you know, if you were to decide January 1st is today, what are you planning to do? What are your new resolutions? There's so many things you can ask, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to sort of piggyback in the sense that when new agents start now today in this market today, now, where everybody else considers it slow, I think it's a perfect opportunity for them, you know, depending on how hungry they are. I'm just going to throw this out there, really depending on how hungry they are, is to ask those seasoned agents, right? Let me get the back of your book contacts. Let me get the back of your book contacts so I can start calling them.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And I can start making phone calls through them. I can start pretty much, I can give you referrals from there, right? Let me get to that book of, whether it starts from Z or it starts from Q, whichever way it starts. Let me get the back of the book and start calling from there. Because honestly, as a new agent, whether you do an open house every weekend from here on out and you get people in here and there, can you imagine all these seasoned agents that have done this work already so many times that now they actually have a cluster of people, whether they're 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 9 years ago, you're at least now trying to contact those same people and try to get business out of them.
And it does work. It does
It
work.
does, yes, ladies and gentlemen.
It does
For the
work.
new agents, it does work. It builds your calluses of no. And what I mean about calluses of no is really your rejections of no. You know, this is our business.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, this is our business. Our business is to accept the no's so we can celebrate the yeses. So we can actually do our cartwheels of yeses.
Yeah.
We're going to receive thousands upon thousands of no's. Doesn't matter how many lists we receive, 90% of it is going to be no. So can you imagine the 10% or 5% or 6% of that is going to say, yes, I need your help. Oh my God, how many cartwheels can you do that day?
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be great.
You know, definitely as a new agent, you know, like go and help, you know, go and volunteer to help out some more experienced agents with their open houses when they're taking their time off, you know, and don't expect to be compensated, you know, like pretty much like a full compensation. Like start working, you know, like be a little bit more humble, you know, even if you're going to get like, I don't know, a percentage or whatever you agree with that listening agent, do it, build up your business, get, you know, fill that guest list at open house.
Your compensation is the leads, you know, your compensation is the people you're going to close. That's your compensation.
Definitely. Yeah.
So
love it. So we had a question actually Faith had.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed something.
She said, does studying your vocab help to get more business? So
no, you know what? Okay, I'm as a foreign person with all messed up English, grammar, vocabulary, all this and that. Why do you have to take a step back and say, let me just get ready to get ready? Just do it. People are people. You know, it does not matter what words you use to convey the message. At some point, you know, you just got to do it and use the phone. You know, the excuse, my English is no good. Yeah, we know my English is no good. And it's okay.
It is good because look how well you're speaking. It is good.
No, but you know, guys, you make fun of me. Some words I still screw up.
First of all, I did. I wasn't making fun of you though. It was a joke.
Yeah, no, basic vocabulary just comes along with experience. But speak to people on a one-to-one, human being to human being basis. You know, if you really care about, you know, the other person you're interacting with, you know, they're going to want to do business with you. It's not about having the big words and sounding all fancy. To me, it's pretty much of a turnoff. Like, why would you want to like be so high up that you're so unreachable? Like, let's be real. Let's be plain. You know, it's easier this way.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I actually question. What I question about this also is it vocab in our English or the terminologies of real estate? I guess what I wondered too. Right?
So we'll wait for her to respond.
But yeah, wait for her to respond on that. But I agree with Gigi 1,000%. And what I've also seen with those who have different languages, right? Because look, I actually obviously speak English, and I do speak Spanish as well. Right? And here and there, I'll throw in a couple of languages that I think I know because I'll throw in a couple of words. See, I knew it. Terms of real estate. Okay, I'll answer that in a few seconds. So the point is that forever I've been working with a lot of customers, you know, English speaking, so on and so forth. But in the last year or so, I've been speaking to a lot of Spanish, and I can tell you, my Spanish is broken. It's broken. But at the same time, because I've been practicing and speaking to these folks, and they've actually feel sorry for what they're hearing from me, you know, they still understand what I'm saying, and I still have closed out a lot of my clients that do speak Spanish, you know, and I'm able to help them out the way I need to help them out to get them homes. So, yeah, I'm still practicing my Spanish. Believe me, it's not very good looking, as they say sometimes. However, at the end of the day, I think that it's a good thing to learn. So, learning your terminologies, yes, I think that you should learn
along the way.
Don't just focus on that. Yes, I think you should learn along the way. Do some classes here and there. Whatever classes you're going to do, whatever courses you're going to do, you're going to learn those terminologies that way. But you don't need to know.
But don't take a step back to get ready to get ready. That's like that's the worst. That's like just go for it, jump. Just do it. You know, it's okay.
Just don't sound too over knowledgeable on things. Just keep it simple, whatever the rest of the words is.
I would if that is the case, if I were you, I would try to learn the terms for yourself just so that it helps you, but don't try to learn it so that you can sound any which way to someone else. Because at the end of the day, the longer that you are, the more that you're involved with your team, the more that you're involved with the trainings, the more that you're involved with agents and you're kind of checking out the properties and doing showings, you're going to realize that no matter what you say, at the end of the day, if that's not their industry, you're still going to sound smarter than they are.
Of
You're
course.
still going to have more information than they are.
And then and nobody wants to deal with a know-it-all. They freaking it's something. You know.
So what I would do more for self. You know what I mean? Learn the terms for yourself so you know what they mean, right? If you hear something like, oh, yeah, we could sell this property and it has an encumbrance or it has an easement, you want to know how to respond to that. So for self, sure, learn it. It's only going to benefit you at the end of the day. I remember hearing the first best investment that you can ever make is in yourself, right? So if you're learning these terms, guess what? You're smarter. You know what's going on. You don't have to boast about it, but now you know, you understand. And then the second best investment that you can make is in other people. So now you're passing that information to everyone else. So you don't want to be the one to pass around the wrong information. You want to make sure that if you're passing it around, you're giving out good information. And people love that about someone else, giving back.
So, and the best time to learn these terms, and I'm just saying this whether it's jokingly or not, the best time to learn these terms is when you need to take the real estate test. But congratulations, if you're on this, that means you already passed the test. You don't need to. I mean, again, the terms are learned throughout the process. I mean, there's words. There's actually a couple of terms I heard recently. I was like, what? Let me read up on these real quick.
You can catch you off guard, man. That's how you freeze, and then you just have a smile on your face, and you're just like nodding, you know.
Yeah,
you know what that means. Yeah.
So, right,
and it's okay. I mean, I still sometimes ask if I don't know what a word is, and if something you don't know everything. Even in real estate, I don't mind asking. I don't even mind asking a buyer or seller. I'm like, what is this? I mean, am I missing something? I don't know what that is, or I've never dealt with it. Can you just explain it to me?
As my coach always says, is our coach, not my coach, but our coach always says, GTS, which I won't curse on this, but Google that, because you'll be able to Google that stuff, because you'll be able to find whatever you need to go from there, right?
Yeah.
If you can't find a word, it's always there. You'll always find it somewhere somehow. And so just don't try to go through the rabbit hole, huh? We lost her.
We lost your audio, Gigi.
I'm trying to read her lips.
We lost your audio, Gigi.
I know. What else can we do besides going past clients, going to old files? I think going to old files is an absolutely fantastic idea when you're a new agent. Start building up your business. Talk to people. Talk to your family. I'm going to keep on repeating it. Tell everybody. Right now is the best opportunity to tell.
I'll try to hang on.
Did I get back?
That's like the rock. That's like the rock.
You were talking and then you just kind of.
I know, because the whole thing went black.
So I had to look up too. You had me wondering if there was something there.
I thought she was talking to you for a second.
No, the thing went black, and I'm like, damn it. All right. Anyway.
No, but I agree. Like, there's things that we learn from pass bys. Go to your old and new neighbors. Okay, pass by, say hello to them. Go to your vendors. Go to stores that your local stores. Say hello. Thank you for them. You know, and you know, we had mentioned vendors in the beginning. We had mentioned vendors as to say hello to your vendors and so on and so forth. Obviously, our general vendors are pretty much our lawyers, right? Our home inspectors, right? Our
appraisers, contractors,
right? Our mortgage lenders. Those are just the general ones we speak about. But what about our plumbers? What about our sweepers?
Electrician,
right? Contractors. We and those are just some of them. How about our accountants? Okay, our divorce attorneys. That's ones to have right about now. Air quotes.
If you don't have a list of vendors you're working with, start creating one. Go meet people.
Absolutely.
Definitely oh, I don't really have a mortgage broker. Trust me, I'm sure you had some solicitation in your email or phone calls. Like, find somebody, go meet them, see what they're about.
Yeah.
Ask for business at the same time. See if you want to work with them. You never know.
Here's another great idea. I mean, if those who are listening and want to write this down, here's a great idea to use. This year for me starts. You do a quick video, right, and say, "This year for me starts today," and I'm looking to help out 150 people find their new homes. Who would like to partner up with me to help me find those homes for them? How many vendors do you think will reach out to you? And then from there, you'll have vendors just to thank you next year.
Yeah, all of them.
Right?
They see that, they're like, "Oh, this guy, yo, yeah, I can help you with that." Yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah.
How many vendors are gonna say hello to you? How many people are gonna be like, "Man, I want to help you out too, family and friends. I need your help." You can say it that way. I'm looking to help out 150 people this year. I need your help. Please, who can help me help 150 people find their new homes this next year coming up?
Yeah.
Tag, put me, DM me, tag me, put it in the comments. Let's talk. Let's help out these 150 people this year.
All right.
Man, that's gonna be explosive, ladies and gentlemen. So think of it that way.
Yeah. But as we come to a conclusion,
yes.
All right. This is basically, again, we wanted to have more of a little discussion instead of throwing slides at you. I know Gigi's out of Vegas, and Gigi. We don't say it often, but I'm gonna throw it out there.
What is that? A monkey back there?
Every time there's slides up here, every time there's information slides that go up, I have to say Gigi has always been the one somehow, some way putting these slides together every time.
Thank you.
I gotta show something since we're in November, right? We're giving thanks out here. So I want to give some thanks to Gigi for always putting the information, always putting the slides together.
That's right.
Israel, I want to thank you for always sharing nuggets, man, and always being on here and always being a part of the team and always giving back, man. So I truly, truly do appreciate you guys.
I do appreciate you both guys for bringing, for bringing some contents. I do love, our little disagreements. I just love that we're all not all the same.
Right.
I like diversity. I really appreciate that. And yes, it's a time of Thanksgiving. So here I am. I'm very grateful for the both of you. I'm very grateful for this little venture we have and trying to help out the community of real estate agents.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
And I'm really grateful for both of you. I mean, honestly, this is amazing. We've been together for now a year, but we've actually, outside the cameras, we've been together for much longer. And I can't tell you that the journeys that we've had in this last year from the tune, I'm never in the camera. Let's just put it to you that way. And the fact that I've actually done this with you both, I mean, it's amazing. I'm really appreciative of this. I've learned a lot from both of you, in that sense. I've learned a lot too, in different ways. And yes, Gigi, I have to agree. I do like the arguments sometimes. But the slides have been interesting. And I have to say that thank you both for keeping me on, keeping us on here, keeping this interesting. I'm looking forward to now the next year to come so we can actually improve our audience and improve their intellects into the real estate world. And I look forward to seeing what's going to come up. So thank you both for making this happen.
So sweet. And then Faith, Faith, man, you are incredible. Let's talk about that. So we got to give thanks to Faith because Faith came and she brought the fire. She brought all the questions. She was curious and she was not holding back. So Faith, thank you. All right.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you.
So I'm really, really appreciative to the hungry agents, those that are curious, ask questions. I love this. Like, stay curious, stay hungry, Faith. Just don't change.
Yeah,
thank you.
And you have to always keep that in mind and remember the basics every single time. You're gonna hear everybody say it. Even when you're a seasoned agent, even if you have 250 years in the business, whenever you feel that you walk off the path, I guess I'm gonna say that. Whenever you feel like you've veered off the path, you always got to look back to the basics and connect with agents that are of similar mind or someone that you want to be not like, but you want to kind of have what they have. And that's why you want to pick their mind and say, hey, I want to get to where you're at. How can I get there? What can I do? So guys, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks again for tuning in.
All right, guys.
Safe travel back home.
Enjoy travels, Gigi.
Yeah,
I know she got another session that's going in. So Gigi, we'll let you go. Thanks so much again.
I don't know what kind of session she's having.
I hope educational.
I mean,
all right.
Have a good one. Enjoy it.
It's the weekend, Gigi. Enjoy. Woo!
You better come back now.
He's in Vegas.
Better come back.
I gotta go. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Enjoy.
That's amazing.